Hi, everybody, and welcome to part 4 of our Christmas light installation business training videos. Part 4, of course, is called Get a Website. This slide, of course, is from part 3, where we touched on this a little bit. But to review, get a website. You have to be found on Google searches. Customers are very busy these days, and they want easy ways to find what they're looking for. So the first thing they're going to look for is a search on the internet. Christmas light installer in my area. And you need to show up when your customer types that into a search engine. Specifically, Google's the most popular search engine, so I reference that more than maybe Bing or Yahoo, but the same idea for all of those. But you need to be found when customers search for that, and having a website is a great way to do that. It's really, really inexpensive to do. Uh, we'll go into cost a little bit later, but this is probably one of the best return of investments that you can ever have for your Christmas light business. You could literally spend $100 a year on hosting your website and gain 20 or 30 new clients off your website very easily. Like I said before, customers can contact you 24/7. It's 10, 11 o'clock at night and they forgot to call you that day. They can get on your website and send you an email. And know that you're going to get that information and contact them back. A lot of folks like to use email instead of phone. A lot of people like phone versus email. So it's great to have both those things covered. It's a great way to show off your past work. If you're talking to a customer on the phone, hey, go to my website and look at my photo gallery, and you can see some jobs that I've done in the past. When you're out giving a quote, you can pull up your iPad or your smartphone and show some pictures really quick if you wanted to be a little more digital. It's a great way to build credibility, having pictures of past work as well to show that you're good at what you do. And that goes on to the last point is your website's a great way to just show everybody how great you are. It's all about being professional and all about building credibility for your business. Again, I'll go back to get a logo. The top of your page should have a nice logo on the top of it. We talked about this in 3, but I just wanted to remind you that if you have a website, make sure it has a nice looking logo on the top of it, and that'll help your overall site impression. So the next step is we're going to get you a domain. A domain is basically your web domain of what your website's called, www.detroitchristmaslightcrew.com. That is known as your web domain. So you can go to websites like GoDaddy, domain.com, or web.com. There's a bunch of other ones as well. And they'll have searches right on the front page where you can type in and see if your domain's available. Some web hosting that you do includes a domain for free as well, but typically it's going to cost you right around $10 a year. Sometimes you can catch a sale from GoDaddy or domain.com, and they'll have a 20% off sale. So maybe you'll get it for $8 a year, but somewhere right around $10 a year, you can get a domain. You can sign up for 1 year. You can sign up for 4, 5, 6 years, as well. So something to think about if you're new into this business. Maybe try 1 year and then you can renew. And if things are going really well, you can renew for 2, 3, or 4 years and lock that domain in. And typically, the longer you sign up for, a little bit cheaper it gets as well. So you might be able to get that down to $5 or $6 a year doing it that way as well. Your domain should reflect your company name and what you do. You don't want to have a Christmas light installation company and have a web domain that says Bob's Burgers. It doesn't make sense. It's not what you do. It's not going to help you when people are searching for you. So get a domain that works. If your company's name is Detroit Christmas Light Crew, here's an example: DetroitChristmasLightCrew.com. Christmas Decorators of New York. Spell it out. It's going to help you in searches. It's going to help your customers when they see you in a search understand that it's pretty obvious that these guys probably are in Detroit and do Christmas light installation. Because the last thing you want to do is have a website that generates a bunch of phone calls and emails from people that don't live in your area. So if you live in Detroit, for example, you want your customers to be in Detroit, but you don't want people from Arizona calling you, because that's a waste of your time and not very helpful. So you want to make it clear of who you are, where you are, and what you do. The next step is, once you have your domain, is find a web host. Again, the same companies as the previous slide: GoDaddy, Domain.com, Web.com, all have web hosting packages. Now, web hosting is actual server space where your website is going to reside. So this is the place you're going to upload all your files to, which creates your website. A lot of these places like GoDaddy and Domain and Web.com all have website builders. So it's pretty straightforward. You don't have to know code to build a website that looks pretty good using their services. Cost is typically can be as low as $1 to $5 a month. If you end up using their web builders and templates and things like that, it might be a little bit more expensive, maybe $5 or $10 a month. But you can see somewhere on your total web package for a year is somewhere right around $100 to have a website, which is going to be one of your cheaper forms of marketing and one of your more effective forms of marketing as well. So next, it's building your site. Make it look nice. This is the first thing your potential customer is going to see. It's right back to the old saying of, you only get one chance to make a good first impression. It's the same thing on a website. If they load your website and it looks awful, it's not designed well, it's hard to read, the pictures aren't clear, what you do isn't clear, it's hard to find your phone number, hard to email you, just overall design looks terrible, they're going to click right back off your page and go find somebody else. It's that simple. It's the same way as if you knocked on their door and were dressed in ratty clothes, hadn't showered in 3 weeks, and wanted to give them a quote. They're going to usher you right back out of their house and go call the next guy. It's not any different with your website. So make sure it looks nice. Make sure your logo looks nice, your pictures look nice, or people are just going to hit your website, look at it in the first 30 seconds, and they're going to bounce right off. On your front page, don't be too wordy. If somebody's looking for Christmas Light Installer, they don't want to read a 4-paragraph biography about you and your family and every house you've ever decorated. So just keep it really simple. Don't put a lot of words out there. Make sure you have a nice picture on your front page of a house that you've decorated. Make sure you have your contact info and phone number easily found. Again, a phone number is a must. Do not rely just on email. Having that phone number gives you credibility. It makes you real. It makes you a real place they can call versus just an email. So the more information on the contact that you have, if you have a warehouse, if you already have a business or something like that and you have a warehouse, do that. If you just have a P.O. box, make sure you have your P.O. box up there and your phone number and everything. So it's just easy to find on your contact page. Right on the front page, put your phone number there, so if people like the pictures that they see and are interested, they can dial you up right now if they don't prefer to send you an email. Other pages you might want to consider is a contact form with the ability to upload a picture. This will make your life easier. It'll make your customers' lives easier. Is have a contact form. They can put their name, their address, their phone number, and that lets you qualify them. Are they in your area? And if they upload a picture and you look at their house, you can actually give them a rough idea of how much it's going to cost to decorate their house just from their picture. And that could save you some time driving all over the place. Especially you'll find when you start doing quotes, you're going to sticker shock a lot of people on how expensive it really is. And so I'd rather sticker shock somebody through a phone call or through email versus driving 10 or 15 minutes to their house, doing a quote, handing it to them, and then sticker shocking them and not getting the job, right? So you're going to get a lot of people, especially when you have a website that's easy to find, a lot of people are just curious of how much it costs. So they'll easily just go out, snap a picture, and send it. So that's actually been a really successful way to get quotes done. I've closed whole jobs and never even met the people because I emailed a picture. I told them how much it would cost to do their roof line, and they said, let's do it, and we went out and did it. So I didn't even have to do the quote step. So something to keep in mind about making that accessible and making it easier for your customers to do business with you. You want a gallery of past jobs as another great page. If you've done a handful of houses, get pictures of them up there. Make sure you get permission from your customers that they're okay with this. But get some pictures up there of things you can do. And it just gives people ideas. It shows people how good you are, and it just gives you credibility. Description of service. You're going to put in there that you do designs for people, you install them, you maintain them, your warranty is great, you take them down, you store them. Make that crystal clear, because people are going to want the whole package. They're going to want to set and forget you. They're not going to want to have to fiddle with it. They want to say, I want my house to look, white lights on these bushes and white lights in the roof line. Go make it. Here's a check. Go make it happen. So make sure you have the description of services that shows that you're that one-stop shop to do that. Another page that can be useful is an About Us. Show a picture of yourself, show a picture of you with your family, with your dog, whatever. Tell a little bit of your background. This can be a little bit more wordy because it's not going to be on the main page. Tell them that why you're into Christmas light decorating, why you love doing it. If you have other businesses, tell your background is, we're a service business doing lawns, and we love it so much that, we decided to do Christmas lights because we really love the holiday season and making people, smile around Christmas. Just make a nice About Us page. People want to read that too. Here's some quick examples of some websites. These are just examples. You have to be unique with your content when you build your own website, so don't copy anybody else's website. Don't copy anybody's pictures unless you have permission for them. So next we'll say get people to your site. These are some very, very easy and free ways to get people to call you and get people to your website. If you get on the internet and you type in Google Places and you hit enter, there'll be a website called Google Places. Set up an account. You're going to put all your contact information in there, your website information in there. You can put your address, your phone number, everything. And what this does is when people are doing more local searches, you're going to show up on top. And this is absolutely free. So if you're in Ann Arbor, for example, and I want somebody to decorate my house, I type in Ann Arbor Christmas light installer, I hit enter. Well, on the top page in that map section and things like that, it's going to show up, well, here's Holiday Light Express, they're in Ann Arbor, and here's a link to their website. I didn't have to do any search engine optimizing for my website to get on the top of Google, because Google was smart enough to know that this person was in Ann Arbor looking for this service in Ann Arbor, and Google Places has companies that are in Ann Arbor. So get a Google Places account, get your company information in there. Yahoo Business Listing, they have a free version of that. It's the same idea. Bing Places, same idea. Yellowpages.com, a little bit different, where you can just put in your name and your phone number, and I think your website as well for free. But they have a free listing service as well, as long as a paid service. Stick with the free one. But Bing Places and Google Places will be great sources for people, finding you that are in your area. So next, optimize your site for search engines. So SEO, you'll hear the term SEO for search engine optimization. The nice thing about being a local company is you only care about customers in your area. So if you're in Ann Arbor, you only want customers calling you and emailing you that are in the Ann Arbor area. It doesn't do you any good or the customers any good if they're in, Florida, looking for somebody to design Christmas lights for them and contacting a Michigan company. So that doesn't do you any good. So you have a huge advantage with search engines being local. It's very challenging to get on the top of Google and get noticed in Google on a national basis. It's a heck of a lot easier being on the top of Google when you're local, right? So people, when they search, are going to type in, Ann Arbor Christmas light installer. Well, not a lot of competition for websites. There's a handful of companies in Ann Arbor that do Christmas light installation, and there's probably only one or two that are actually putting some effort into their website. And so you can just put a little bit of effort into your website on SEO and actually do really well in search engines, because there's not a lot of competition out there. So Google recognizes that you're the prominent source and puts you on top. So if you think about, you'll hear the term keywords. A lot of the keywords you'll focus on are long string and locally focused searches. People type in Christmas light installer, well, they're going to get results from all over the country. So they'll go back and type in Ann Arbor Christmas light installer. Now they're getting results for just companies around them. It'll have this in the code. If you have a contact us page, it'll have another one of these in the code. So maybe on your contact page, you have a title that says Contact Holiday Light Express. And then your keywords are contact us, online quote, free estimates, just different keywords around contacting you for Christmas light, installation. And then description is maybe contact Holiday Light Express of Ann Arbor to get a quote on getting your lights installed. So every single page that you have on your website, your About Us, your photo gallery, your Contact Us, your services page, your About Us, whatever other pages you have on there, make sure all the titles, all the keywords, and all the descriptions are unique between those pages. If you make them all the same on every page, Google's going to look at your website as one page only. And that's not good. You want it to know that you have 4 or 5 pages there that are unique, and that's going to help you rank a little bit better as well. Copying other sites will hurt you. Search engines like Google absolutely hate duplicate content. So if you took, somebody else's Christmas light website and you copied word for word everything that was on there, and you copied some of their meta tags and everything, Google's going to recognize that, and they're going to actually penalize you for that. So that's actually going to hurt you far more than it'll help you. So make sure your content is unique to you. Again, I mentioned this earlier, that your title and description is more important than the keyword. So I'd focus on writing good page titles and good page descriptions more than I would about making sure all the right keywords are there. Google just doesn't look at those anymore like they used to. And then write naturally and don't word stuff. And what I mean by word stuff is writing a paragraph and writing the word Christmas light installer in the paragraph 10 times, and it doesn't read well. Google is actually smart enough to pick up on that and say, hey, this guy's just trying to get ranked high for Christmas light installer, so he's written it 30 times on his front page in one way or another. So don't do that. Write naturally. Writing naturally will be easier for your potential customers to read, easier for search engines to read. It'll just overall make your website, more user-friendly. Backlinks, you'll hear the term backlinks. What this is a link to your website from another website. It's known as a backlink. Again, a little bit less important than what it used to be, but it makes your website more credible with search engines. So if people are linking to your website or backlinking to your website, that shows search engines that your site is kind of important. So you might want to, if you have a separate business already, then that has a web page, put a link on that to your holiday light specific web page, and that'll give a backlink. That'll give your web page a little bit more credibility. If you've got some friends that have websites or blogs or anything like that, have them write a nice article about your install company and put a link in there back to your page, and that'll help build credibility. Stay away from buying backlinks. You can go to websites and pay $10 or $20 or $30 and buy backlinks. That's a bad idea. They're going to put them in awful sites. Google's smart enough to know that a porn site isn't going to refer to a Christmas light install company, and so they'll penalize you for that, and you don't want that. So stick with trying to get people that have maybe energy efficient blogs if you're going to be out LED lighting. We've done a lot of that, and it's done well. If you've got friends that want to write about you, newspapers, that want to link back to your site, that's going to be really good. And then another thing is link exchanges. That means, basically I'll put a link on my website to your website if you put one on mine. That they cancel each other out that way. Back 5 or 8 years ago, you used to be able to, have 10 different websites, have them all pointing to each other, and that would actually help them all rank really well Google's actually caught on to that, and that's not something you really want to do. So kind of stay away from the link exchanges. It's not really going to help you that much. So guys, this was kind of your crash course in website building. Again, it's very important that you have a website for your Christmas light installation business. To give you an example, I think 2 years ago it was right around just 15 new accounts just off our website. And our average new install a couple of years ago was about $850 or so. So if you multiply 15 times 850, you get the idea. of $10,000 worth of new business by spending $100 on a website. I will take that type of marketing any day. Again, if you have any comments, any questions, go ahead and leave them on our YouTube comment page. You can give us a call, give us an email. Again, visit our website if you're looking for wholesale products as well.